We've got the world-exclusive first look at footage from this highly anticipated first-person shooter set in New York City. About this game, they wanted to play it. So with Crysis 2, you guys have announced that it's going to be on Xbox, it's going to be on PlayStation 3, and of course on the computer.
Yes. Give actually a character arc. In Crysis 1, we had the nanosuit as a toolkit. You know, right. You were playing Nomad as a character, and Nomad was sort of just equipped with a tool of technology, but it wasn't clear what it is about. And with Crysis 2, I wanted to tell a story on an arc where the nanosuit transforms over time. Okay. And the difficulty comes from the challenges and from the quality we set to ourselves. You know, we could have done a console game quite much 3-4 years ago already, right, as well. But we said we don't just want to appear in a console. We want to have the same quality experience as Crysis made on PC.
Predator, or play like a superhero, or play like a tank. Now we're supporting that fully in Crysis 2 through the default implementation of what the nanosuit has to offer.
So do you have the same 4 powers people can use in Crysis 2?
You have all the same powers that you had in Crysis 1. They're all there, but they're combined already together for you in certain ways. So you need to run fast and jump, we put those together. That's on the base nanosuit by default. You still have the ability to cloak and you still have armor, but then even those are expanded further out to push the core away.
So this is nanosuit.
So, you know, beyond just stealth, when you're in stealth mode, there's a lot of things that support the way that you play. Extra nanosuit powers. One of the big things that we're doing in Crysis 2 that wasn't in Crysis 1 is we allow you to customize the nanosuit. So what we're not doing, it's not about paint schemes or color or anything like this. It's meaningful changes to the suit. So you imagine you have like some modules that you can turn on and choose what you're doing. Much in the same way in Crysis 1 we allowed you to customize your weapon. You can do the same with the nanosuit. So if you want to play in a stealthy style, you can stream. Yeah, you can change on the fly. So what we think players will be doing when they use the nanosuit this time around is they'll look at the gaming landscape, you know, the area that the enemies are in, and then much like in the original Crysis, how people would change, like put a grenade launcher on or change a scope or something like this to change their weapon, they'll look at the same problem and go, okay, well, how can I optimize the nanosuit to do the same thing? Like a sneaky guy and sneak around and stab people in the back and play, you know, more like a ninja or a silent killer. You can play that way. But if you want to jump right into huge action and have grenades and rockets and explosions going off around you and survive, you know, 8 people shooting you at once, then you can do that as well.
So are you going to have a lot of vertical gameplay in this game?
That would be a boring thing to do. There wouldn't be much interesting things to do. But what you can do is, you know, within a gameplay space, because the suit is so powerful, you can basically move up and down 1 or 2 stories quite easily. So you can jump on top of trucks and then jump from a truck onto a low roof and run across. There's a up and down aspect to the gameplay spaces, and the enemies that you fight will challenge that as well.
So New York City, you know, what is it going to be unique about New York? Why did you like New York so much?
They've been set there, but New York always has an awesome story to tell. Every location in the city, as you move through it, has a completely different feel, which is great from an artistic point of view and great for gamers as well, because they don't look at the same, you know, boring city architecture over and over and over. Every neighborhood, every borough is a little different. So New York has a lot of flavor.
We're in Manhattan.
Yeah,
okay.
Exactly.
So you've got, I mean, how realistic is this? Are you guys, I mean, modeling, you know, Times Square? I mean, are you going to recognize locations?
And I can go, that doesn't look exactly like it, but there's a lot of reasons why. I mean, it's very difficult to make a one-to-one representation just from a legal point of view. What we have done is replicated each location very, very closely as far as size, footprint, feel. I mean, it would be hard-pressed for you not to feel like that's New York. Open world to some degree? Like, are you going to be able to go all throughout Manhattan in these levels, or is it more segmented? It's segmented much in the way Crysis 1 was. So in Crysis 1, you had play space. We'll do the same with New York, and we have our own way of making that happen, but yeah. So the footage we're seeing tonight, it looks like we're in the Wall Street area of New York? Yeah, definitely. The game is set, this level of the game is set in the Wall Street area of New York, in the financial district. There's some good landmark buildings there. It's a really nice gameplay space. It has a little bit of openness, but it's still a little tight at times, which is good for the player. Yeah. Of Crysis 2 for the first time, head on over to GameTrailers.com.